We're back. I'm just gonna keep doing Kramer every time. Thank you for staying with me, everybody, in our chat and in our stream. We are one half of Generation 1 down. We're gonna keep going with the rest of Gen 1. As we come out of the break, we also covered this before. We now have the we already had S plus and S, but now we have the A plus, B minus, C minus tiers added. So before we do, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. Venusaur is going to go up to the A plus. Squirtle, Charizard, Charmeleon, Nidoqueen, and Bloom. As oh boy, I'm going to do this too. These are all in the A plus distinction. And for design work as well, I really am thinking about bringing Victory Bell up. But we will see. We'll see. No, I'm just going to do it. Screw it. Bring Victory Bell up. I just think Victory Bell is such a uniquely designed Pokemon. So that is our new S or A+. I'm not going to bring any of the S's down. They're there for a reason. I like all these Pokemon dearly. They're great. I think these are all good A Pokemon for what they are. I think these are good B pluses. Maybe I was a little harsh on Charmander before, but not. I still don't think I was very wrong in that. And then we're gonna hit our B minus category, and this is where I'm kind of rethinking some of my decisions. I will put Nidorino down in the B minus. Bring Venomoth down here. Bring Fearow down here. Arbok will go down here. You know what? I'm even gonna bring Tentacruel down here. I think they're all good Pokemon, but they're B minus Pokemon. And I think they deserve more of that distinction. And B is kind of like it's a good middle ground that has a lot of okay, I like it, but or these are great, but I'm not crazy about it. So there's a balance there. And from the C minus, we're gonna have to break some down. Ekans is a C minus. Golbat's a C minus. Weepinbell is a C minus for sure. Weepinbell is the only one I think might go all the way down. Yeah, I'm just gonna do it. Weepinbell's a D. I don't like Weepinbell. It's a very oddly unique design in the wrong way. And from that perspective, I gotta put Weepinbell at the D. So these are our new distinctions. Still no F tier. But now we have a little bit more of a balanced look here as we make our distinctions. So as we go through, we have Golem. Golem's going to be up here towards our B-ish category for me, I think. I like Golem. I like the magma-like boulder look to Golem, but then it almost becomes reptilian, lizard-like almost coming out of it. It's just a different interesting way to attack that kind of a design. Is it simplistic? Sure. I could use some more color contrast, but at least there is color contrast through the piping of the rock versus the veining of the rock versus like a Graveler where there's just like one note. Whereas Geodude at least kind of small enough to get away with it. Graveler's too big to get away with something. Yeah, Golem was a B for number 76. Ponyta! I think Ponyta is high on my list. I like Ponyta a lot. Yeah, people could say it's simplistic. It is simplistic, but it's a fun Pokemon nonetheless. Keep looking at these guys. Let me do that. I love Butterfree, but Butterfree might be. Clefable, I'm still thinking of. Ponyta is just. People can say, "Oh, it's simplistic. It's still basic." Yeah, but again, basic can be very good. The piping of the flame work is beautiful. If you actually if you zoom in on a Ponyta design, which I have done, because they have something for my region for Ponyta. If you look at that fire design, there's a lot of texture there. There's a lot of unique detail in there that doesn't immediately pop off. But Ponyta is a really fun design, and I like Ponyta a lot. It's adorable. Again, could be your friend. That's what Pokemon are supposed to be. Love Ponyta. Ponyta's great. Rapidash. Rapidash is also kind of high. I'm going to put it right next to Ponyta. I think Ponyta is more appealing because it has the cutesy nature, but the wild flame look of Rapidash really brings it up a notch. Actually, I'm thinking of the wild nature of it, and I kind of dig it more. Yeah, I think that's fair. Looking at Raichu, kind of going, man, I'm not sure. Now I'm thinking, I don't like Kakuna and Metapod as much as some of these guys, but I just love the unique design work of them, so I'm going to bring them down to the B+. But I still think very high marks for these two. If you caught the earlier parts of the stream, you know, I had them up at the A because the unique. Then we didn't have the B+ category. I think they'd go B+. Same deal. I think I'm going to move Pidgeot down to the B+ because it's kind of there. I'll do that because I like it. But yeah, Rapidash, those wild flames, they just look powerful. And it goes with the majesty of the character design. Again, character design. It's not just creature design. Character design. I love Rapidash's vibe. Rapidash is a great Pokemon. Now we're going to hear Slowpoke. Slowpoke. What up, my boy? Slowpoke is an S. Adore Slowpoke. Slowpoke, only behind Psyduck, maybe, is the derp vibe. What a dumb, derpy, fun Pokemon. With these cutesy little ears. Again, not full-on bubblegum pink, but the pink tone just makes it very inviting and fun. Who doesn't want to have a Slowpoke as a friend? I love Slowpoke. Slowpoke's dope. And Slowbro I like, but not as much as Slowpoke. I really like the character design elements of it and the storytelling of it, though. So I don't like it as much as Victory Bell. I'll put it in an A. It's still high A, but I love the storytelling elements, so the design work brings it up higher. I'm just not as huge fan of Slowbro as I am Slow. Slowpoke's so cute and inviting. I want Slowpoke to be my friend. Or Slowbro, it's cool, but I don't want it to be my friend immediately compared to other Pokemon. And that's where I gotta go. A. Love the tail work. That's very fun off tail. That's pretty cool. Don't know about the belly though. That kind of throws me off, but it's still fun. And still derpy, but not as derpy and cool as Slowpoke. Magnemite. Magnemite's such a weird little fun Pokemon. I'm going to put Magnemite all the way at the B+ category. I think Magnemite's really cool. It's one of those that I thought was really stupid as a kid, and as I've grown older, I've continually liked it more and more because it's just so weird and unique. Screws and magnets and a magnetic ball with an eye. It's just like, what does it mean? Why does it? Doesn't matter. It's just kind of a fun, unique way to add a Pokemon. I like Magnemite. Magnemite's cool. Magneton, kind of the Dugtrio vibe again. Problems with the Dugtrio, but at least this is really cool and leads to something. I like Magneton, but not as much as Magnemite. I'm most fan of Magnezone, but that's not in this generation. But I like the color contrast of the polarities with the blue and red. I like the deeper, blacker colors of the magnet and the screws. That's really cool. And I love the idea of magnets attracting, so at least there's a reason for the three. Whereas Dugtrio, it's just like, there's three of them. Magneton, at least there's like a logic and a reason to it, so I like that element of Magneton. Farfetch'd. Farfetch'd is my boy. I love duck Pokemon. I love ducks. I love Farfetch'd. I love the leak. It's such a unique, interesting. I love the mohawk look of the feathers. It just gives it a vibe. I love the black mark suggesting like an angry eyebrow. It's just a unique, fun design. But it hits duck. It's simplistic, but it's fun. And using a leak as a weapon is such a weird, unique choice that I love Farfetch'd. Farfetch'd is Cool. I love Farfetch'd. Farfetch'd is dope. Doduo, on the other hand, I like Doduo, but Doduo is not great. I'll put Doduo at the B minus category. Yeah, I think that's fair. I keep looking at some of these guys in here and thinking they might go down and Doduo might be around there. I like Doduo's kind of weird, derpy nature. And I like the footwork here. It's a very fun little unique design. The brown is an odd choice. Wish it was a slightly different. But I love the long stork-like beak. It's just interesting. I like that. Whereas Dodrio, just there's a tood there that brings it up to B. I think I might still like Doduo more because it's friendly and inviting. But I love the idea of, again, there's a weird 3 thing going on in a fun way. And I like the color contrast from the feathers. But again, it falls into the Firo trap where there's color contrast there, but not enough, and the brown is too dominating of it. And then even if the feathers and this area down here were a different color besides black, it'd give a much better vibe to it. But fun vibe off the 3, going from the 2 to the 3, more of a Hydra-like vibe. Very fun. I like that for Dodrio. So Dodrio's a solid B. Seal, here's where you don't have much to say, but you just like it. Like Seal. Seal's fun. Seal's friendly. But it's a big white seal. And its name is literally Seal. I don't know what else to say. I like the fountain-like look of the tail. That's a unique little fun thing. But other than that, it's just like, okay, it's a seal. B minus. Dugong, I like Dugong a little bit more because I think the fins have a little bit more majesty to them. Again, both could really use some color, but this is almost like, this is because it has the weird seal-like face in the taupe tan, like light tan, off-white color, throws it off. Where Dugong having the more flowing fins and going with the pure white look is it's just a vibe that I kind of dig, and I like Dugong because of that. And I appreciate Dugong for what it is. I like Dugong, so I'm gonna put Dugong up at the B. It's a really solid B category, but I think the all white look is a very nice, clean, interesting vibe. Grimer, Grimer and Muck. I think they're underrated. Really, I think they're really fun, underrated Pokemon. Grimer. Ooh, if you're lurking in the chat section, hit me up with some comments because I'd love to hear your ideas. Grimer here. I'll put Grimer at the B minus category for now. I'm gonna put it at B. I like it more than some of these. I just love the melting sludge look of it, and the face looks like a weird mutant that just became a living being, which is kind of Grimer's vibe. So I like that. Alolan Grimer I appreciate a little bit more, but I really appreciate Grimer for what it is. And Muck is cool. Muck just looks like a monster. I love Muck goes to the B plus category because of that. I've rarely even seen it in the anime, so it can't even be like I like the anime version of it. I just love how monstrous this thing looks. It looks like a big sludge or rock monster or mud monster. It's got a Clayface vibe, and as a huge Batman fan, that really appeals to me. And I love the subtle color variation to give off the melting Mudman vibe that Muck has. Muck's great. Love Muck. Shelder's cute. Shelder's fun. Shelder's inviting. The tongue out is such a cool little nod. I like Shelder a lot, actually. So I just keep going. No, I like it more. No, I like it more. No, I like it more. Here. Yeah, I like Shelder a lot. Shelder's fun, but I don't know if my level of loving it is better than some of these Pokemon that I may not like as much, but have better designs in my opinion. Shelder with the purple, but with that black face and tongue is so much fun that I really enjoy have happening. So I really enjoy that this is here doing what it does. That's really cool. So yeah, fun stuff over here for Shelder. I just love that tongue design. It just looks like it just a little punk, and I like that. Cloyster. I get the jokes and everything. I like Cloyster a lot. I love the spiky armor look that Cloyster has. The purple is still fun, but then getting that more silver-esque gray is very cool. But the spiking look, and they almost kind of look like oars to give another nod to water. Really fun. Unique design. I get it. Everyone loves to make the jokes of what Cloyster is, and especially with the trainers that have an Onyx and a Cloyster. You're like, oh, I wonder what that is. I get that everyone likes to make the jokes, but you know, Cloyster's a cool Pokemon, and it looks like a defensive monster, which is really fun. And it very much tells a story and a vibe. So I think Cloyster's got to be, B. Actually, I think because of the story, I'm going to take Cloyster up higher. I like Cloyster a lot, actually. Ghastly. I like Ghastly. Question is, how much do I like Ghastly? Because again, it's a basic ghost. The wisping ghost vibe is cool, but if you literally look at it, Cloyster face, Ghastly face. What's different? The smile and the teeth. That's it, and maybe a hair of brow. But even the color scheme, it's so similar. Very unique, interesting vibe here. But I really do like Ghastly. I love its like Abra, but not as much as you guys. Keep just looking at the order now, unfortunately. But Ghastly, I love the wisping gas, but the gas around it to make it more apparition like. Very fun, and I love those eyes. They're so simplistic, and people say, "Oh, Gen 1 eyes." They're such a fun, pointy eye, and they look villainous, and they look like something that's gonna mess you up. Ghastly should have that vibe. I like that for Ghastly. Haunter is S+ category. Love me a Haunter. Haunter is so much fun. Haunter is Ghost Pokemon. I understand Gengar gets all the love, but Haunter is such a far more unique, fun, and more importantly, interesting ghost vibe. The floating hands that are unattached to the body, the menacing smile, the spike but still wisping design of the back piece. Everything about Haunter is cool. Haunter's just cool. I far prefer Haunter to Gengar. I like Gengar, but it ain't Haunter. Haunter's super cool. I wish I could just go and flip him, because it'd be much better that way. Haunter's just so cool. It's so cool. Gengar. Again, I like Gengar. Gengar ain't bad, but Gengar. I have Gengar to B+. I know a lot of people love Gengar. I'll move it up to an A, I guess. Like Gengar's cool, but it's just not Haunter, and Haunter's such a far more unique, interesting vibe, and I like that a lot more than the rest. So I gotta go. Gengar's an A. It's still a good Pokemon. I like Ghastly more, but Ghastly's a little more basic. Where like there's a mischievous nature that works for Gengar's ghost vibe that is cool in its design work. It's just not nearly as visually appealing to me as Haunter's. Haunter's such a unique and interesting and appealing vibe, in my opinion. Haunter's so cool, and Gengar is cool, but not as cool. Onyx, Rock Snake. We're closing in on the Hundy mark. It's a Rock Snake. Don't hate it, but it's a Rock Snake. Horn's a little interesting. I like the segmentation and the interpretation of it. Again, I think it's the same thing as kind of Graveler. Needs more color contrast, but at least with the shading, you get that more. Um, I just wish there was a little bit more of color contrast. Onyx is cool, but I think Onyx is another classic example of one of those Pokemon that felt really cool in Gen 1, but then as you got more Pokemon, you're like, yeah, it's okay. Um, so yeah, Onyx is just kind of bland, but it's still fun. Drowsy I've come to enjoy a lot more. Very interesting Pokemon. It's brought down by its evolution for me, but I like Drowsy. I like Drowsy's look. I like Drowsy's feel. As I continually adjust. I love this wave pattern. Almost like a brain wave. Very cool. I love that tapier nose. It looks like something that eats dreams to a degree, and I think that's a really fun, unique design. Wish it was a slightly different color combination, but not the worst. It's time. That's what I'm talking about, Angie. Thank you for joining the stream, my friend. But I like Drowsy's vibe, and I think it's really a fun, unique vibe. And I love the brainwave like pattern. I just wish it was a slightly different color combination. Hypno. I ain't gonna lie, Hypno kind of sucks. It's like I like Hypno's fine. Hypno's like mid. Hypno is mid. I love the little piece. I love the little timepiece trying to mesmerize you. That's interesting, but like, and I know it's based off some Japanese lore. I can't believe you put Evan backwards in C tier, C minus. I mean that's where Ekans belongs, my dude. That's where Ekans belongs. But Hypno, like, it's just weird, and I don't know how you go from Drowsy to Hypno. It makes no sense. That's another one I might revisit later on and give Drowsy a new evolution to in my own Pokemon. Regional designs. I think that could be a really interesting, unique way to keep more of the tapier look and not the Japanese myth look. I know what Hypno's based off of. It's an interesting idea. Just don't know if it really attaches to Drowsy that well. And I think it's just a little too removed. But Drowsy's way cooler than Krabby. Ooh, this is going to be one just because I like it. Krabby, low B. It's Crab. But I like it. Krabby's fun. Krabby's just fun. I like that he's Krabby. I like that Krabby's Krabby. However, Kingler is a vibe. I really like Kingler. I like Kingler more than a lot of Pokemon, actually. I'm going to put it at the B plus because it looks just like more of a developed Krabby. There isn't a true like evolution, I guess, element of it. But I love how like one claw becomes super enormous. I love the more menacing grin that it gets. I love that the eyes are just weird. I love the crown type look off the shell. So there is some very unique, interesting design elements to it that I think are really, really cool and really fun. So with that being said, that's why I gotta put Kingler up at that B plus vibe. I mean, Kingler is a vibe. There are a few Pokemon that are just a vibe like Kingler from the standpoint of Gen 1. And now we are on our last Pokemon of this little bit of the session. Voltorb. We're always splitting up evolutionary lines. My gosh. Voltorb. I'll put Voltorb at the B. I'll put it at the B category. It's for the game mechanic, not the design. The design is obviously angry, explosive Pokeball. Cool. But I'm guessing you haven't done Mr. Mime yet because I don't see anything in F tier. Yeah, more on that. More later. Voltorb, it's a really interesting in-game concept when Gen 1 was so graphically limited. To have Voltorb as this like, explosive thing that could blow up in your face while trying to be greedy and find an item. That was kind of the messaging behind Voltorb. So the angry industrial interpretation of Voltorb gets a B plus. It's a B ranking for me. But just a metallic ball that explodes, and there's nothing really visually interesting except the eyebrow look to it and the angry eye. So it's a B. It's right there. But still, fun little Pokemon. But that is 1 through 100. We have 51 left. As always, I'm going to take a quick 60-second break here. Once you're done cheering for the night, I have a question. I would love to answer your question when we're done cheering for the night. But if it's Pokemon related, I would love to be able to answer it now for you. But we're going to go BRB for about 60 seconds just so I can hydrate, get some water, keep the voice. So, BRB.